Whew. All right, everyone. Hello. Welcome back to the Alaracanfieldshow, the Awaken Happiness Now global series. Thank you so much for being here with us. We are back after a month of illness. I was sick with, being sick with COVID or whatever you want to call it, but it was pretty intense. And so I took a much needed break, and I had to reschedule most of the shows in July to August or next season. Which is all good. You got to do what you got to do, right? What's most important for everybody is that we are feeling healthy and fine and full of, vitality, etc., so that we can continue to share and contribute and be of service. So thank you so much, everyone, for being here with us today, back with our regular shows now. And thank you, Theresa, for being back on our show. We love having you here. And today we're talking about the subtleties of healing now. And Theresa has been on our show many times. We love having her. We love the energy. We love all the wonderful knowledge and wisdom that we receive from Theresa and her guides, the angels especially. And so today on today's show, we're going to talk about the place where our resistance to healing hides. That'll be interesting. Parenting ourselves through the tough spots, how our sensitive superpowers can give us an advantage in staying healthy, the magical place we can go to increase our ability to heal, and how we can best set ourselves up for success on our healing journey. And of course, Theresa is going to be bringing through special personal messages and healing frequencies specifically for you. So we will be taking live caller questions for those of you who are here in the Zoom room. So you can, of course, raise your hand in order to work with Theresa. And for those of you who don't know Theresa, like I said, she's been with us many times. We love having her on the show. She's one of our favorite guests and speakers, as she is, of course, yours. She is an international speaker, spiritual teacher, mentor, priestess, master of the healing arts, and angelic channel. She works with people who feel that they should have attended Xavier's School for Gifted Youngsters before being sent out into the world, helping them to find the strength in their sensitivities and guiding them in the use of their superpowers. Theresa is a visionary, a love warrior, and a fierce stand for peace, who is widely regarded as a presence of unconditional love. In her uniquely effective way, she has been helping people expedite their healing and ascension for over 15 years, calling us into our authenticity and full integrity. She empowers sensitives to stand in the power of who we really are so that we can feel more alive, on purpose, and fulfilled. So please join me in welcoming Theresa back to the show. We are so glad you're here, Theresa. Welcome.
I am so glad you're back. I'm glad you're feeling better, and I am so grateful to be here. Thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you. And we have so much to talk about. You will be doing most of the talking because my voice and my throat is still not quite where I would like it to be. But we are going to talk a little bit about, what I went through as well, right? I think you wanted to talk about that as well. So yeah, we'll talk about that. We're going to be taking your live caller questions. And just, be willing to be open to receiving. And, healing is what we are doing all the time. But what are the subtleties of healing now that we're going to talk about with Theresa? So Theresa, where would you like to start today?
I would actually, if it's okay with you, such a big part of healing this planet right now is COVID. And I'm curious if you would share a little bit of your experience, or if you're just so tired talking about it.
I haven't really talked about it that much, to be honest, because, I'm a very private person, in case somebody did not know that, even though I have a public show, but I'm a very private person. But, to be honest, when I got sick, I didn't even, the COVID didn't even enter my mind. I just thought, oh, I have a sore throat. Oh, the sore throat is getting worse. Oh, it feels like strep throat. And then it turned into bronchitis. It's like, oh my God, I have bronchitis. It's gone into my lungs. And, and it's like, and then at the same time, my husband also got sick, and his symptoms, because of his condition, were a bit more worrisome, right? So, and they were much more extreme, some of them. So I sent him to the hospital. It's like, we need to get you checked out. And so that when he went to the hospital, that's when they checked for COVID, and he tested positive. So then they sent a mobile unit here, because I couldn't go anywhere right now. So it's like, I'm in quarantine. So they sent a mobile unit here, and they tested me, and I tested positive. But that's what was funny. I was like, I thought COVID was going to be something totally different, something I'd never experienced before, something that was, you know, I don't know what, but it was like, oh, this is just strep throat. I've had strep throat before. And my son was actually sick first. So I, you know, most of you know that I went to Paris for my daughter's graduation from her master's program. And my son also came, and he was sick. He had, you know, fever and sore throat and all that kind of stuff. And he also just thought, oh, Mom, I think it's strep throat. You know, I think it's just a sore throat and strep throat, etc. Until he came back home, and, you know, because he tested when we were in Paris and it came up negative. I tested in Paris before I left, and I tested negative. So I was like, all right, well, you know, it's just that. So it was really strange. But when I was sick, I didn't do anything. I didn't have the desire to do anything. I didn't even like check my emails, you know, like, you know, I could have sent out emails saying, you know, hey, if you missed this call, please listen to this kind of thing, right? I didn't send any emails. It's like, oh, why didn't I do that? I could have done that. But mentally, I had checked out, if that makes sense, right? So, and then basically I didn't have the strength to do anything. I was so tired, right? And so tired, it was like, it was bad. It was the worst I had been in over 10 years. And even worse, because the bronchitis part, I had never had bronchitis. So when I started, you know, having those moments of coughing attacks, I really felt like I'm going to explode from the inside out. That's how it felt. I'm going to die if this feeling that I'm getting, it gets more. I won't be able to handle. I mean, I was literally screaming, you know. So it's like, that's how extreme it was. I couldn't handle the pain of what I was feeling, and I had never felt that before. So if that was, you know, if that was bronchitis and that's how people feel, oh my God, you know, because if it had lasted longer, or if I had more of those symptoms, I would have called an ambulance. Like, I can't do this. You know, it was just too much. So part of that was that, but I never went into fear, right? So I never felt fearful at all. Whereas my daughter, she was in fear. So she's here. And so we separated. Like, she, you know, she has her own apartment, and we didn't spend any time together. But she was in fear because some of her friends' parents had died due to the complications of COVID, right? So of course, for her, it was like, oh my God, Mom, you know, it's like, I don't want to lose you kind of thing. But she didn't tell me that until after the fact, which is good. But you know, I wasn't scared. I had no fear. I didn't have any of those thoughts of, I don't want to be here or anything like that. It was just more like, what the heck? I'm so tired. And the tiredness lasted quite a while, right? So it was not fun. It was not fun. I don't want to do it again. You know, and unfortunately for me, I did have to go out at one point to get medication for my husband. But, you know, I wore the mask the whole time and all that stuff, and kept my distance the best I could. But it's like, when you're here in, like, especially the small village, you know, you don't want to infect other people either, right? So it's like, I don't want to call somebody and say, hey, can you drive me, even from the hospital? Because I went to the hospital because I wanted to get antibiotics for strep throat. Because that's for me, it's like, I've got strep throat. I just need antibiotics. I'll be fine. And they didn't test me for COVID when I was in the hospital. They're getting the antibiotics, but I had to take a taxi back home because there was nobody that could. I didn't want to call anybody to pick me up, and Robert can't drive because he was really sick, and, you know, all that stuff, right? So it was like, it was quite interesting to see how isolated and vulnerable you can become when you're supposed to have, like, no contact and be quarantined and all that kind of stuff. You know, I couldn't go out and get groceries, like, you know, any of that kind of stuff. So what do you do, right? So it was, that part of it was interesting, but yeah, so now I should be super immune, right?
In theory.
In theory. So I don't know. It was interesting. My parents were quite upset because they're like, see, you should have got the vaccine, then you wouldn't have, you know, it wouldn't have been so bad. It's like,
yeah.
So, you know, I don't know, you know, if that's true or not, but, you know.
Yeah, it's just super interesting. I love hearing people's experiences when they get it, because people are having such different and varied experiences.
Mhm.
And it's so interesting to me, you know, and just to see what gets thrown up in people and what comes up. And, you know, just as an observer and a human at this point, it's just so interesting to see how different we all are, and how much those places where we're predisposed to things, whether it be physically, mentally, emotionally, genetically, all of those things, you know, it makes us so different. And so this one experience can be so different for each of us. And so that's why I asked if you would mind sharing, because it's
just, I actually don't know what other people's, you know, other than my immediate family, what their symptoms had been or something like that. You know, I don't know. I don't talk about it that much. And, you know, like my son has had COVID 3 times, you know, at least, right? My daughter's had COVID once or twice, I don't know, but, you know, my parents had it recently, you know, and so that was a bit worrisome because they're older, right? And they're compromised, right? Their health is compromised because of different things. So that was a bit more worrisome. But the thing is, if you can keep in your mindset that this is not, it doesn't have to be some weird thing. It's like, oh, it's just a cold. Oh, okay. It's just a sore throat. Oh, okay. It's just this. It's just this. It's just this. Okay, then this will pass. And that's, for me, that's what it was like. All right. So it's just moving through the stages, you know, and it's like, and staying calm with it and just allowing my body to do its thing, right? Allowing my body to heal itself. And because I didn't, you know, once I finished I didn't even finish the antibiotics. It's like, oh, okay, well, I can't take it anymore because I started getting an allergic reaction. So it's like, okay, that's done. But my body started to do what it naturally does, right? Taking care of the body. And my job was just to rest, right? And take it easy and just, you know, be as present as I could with it without going into the fear, into the drama, into any of that, and just observing, right? And I hopefully will not get it again. I mean, I hadn't been anywhere in 2 years. And so then I suddenly was in Paris, and suddenly there's like hundreds of people at Amanda's graduation. And so of course, you know, did I get it from my son or did I get it from somebody else? I don't know. It doesn't matter. No, it doesn't really matter. But that was the first time that I had been anywhere public in the past, you know, 2.5 years. So, or traveled, you know, via airplane anywhere. But is that going to stop me from going anywhere else if I need to go somewhere? No, it's not going to stop me.
Not for the next couple months.
Yeah, I mean, like if I need to go to Canada for whatever reason, in the next few months, I'm going to go. If I have the opportunity and, you know, whatever, if I need to go, I'm not going to stop living my life. And that's the thing that I think is most important for everybody to remember. It's like, don't stop living your life. Continue. I don't regret going to Paris. I mean, that was a big event for my daughter, you know, and if I wasn't there, I would have been like devastated, you know. So I'm going to continue to be there for my kids, be there for my family, be there for my community the best I can, if possible. But so I'm not going to stop out of fear. That's the thing that I think is so important for everyone to always go back to, is like, don't stop living your life, you know, because of, oh, I might get sick or I might whatever. Yeah, you might. And I did, and I'm fine. You know, Robert did, and he's fine. Thank God. We're still, you know, taking a little bit slow, but, you know, this too shall pass and everything's okay.
Thank you for sharing all of that. It's just so interesting. There's so many people in the spiritual community I've been talking to who are like, you know, they'll get COVID and they'll be like, oh my gosh, I feel it like moving in my body. And, you know, oh, it's this foreign thing. And it's because that was not my experience at all. So I was just like super curious and, you know, it's just interesting to me how, like I said, how different we all are and how our path of healing can be very different, but lead to the same place. You know, it's each cell in our bodies contains the wisdom of the entire body. Yeah. And when we allow them to work together and to do their thing, and when we encourage them and when we give them the support, they always know what to do. And it's like the cell in my pinky finger isn't separate from the cell in my heart. Yeah, they do different things and they function differently, but they all have the same wisdom. They all communicate with each other and work the same way. So it's really just beautiful to allow the body to work and do what it does. You know, viruses in general, we've talked about this a lot over the last 3 years, but viruses in general are here to evolve us. They always evolve us in some way. And I know that there's this whole thing now about, like, you know, the origins and this and that and the other thing. But at the end of the day, in the great scheme of the cosmos, it wouldn't be as widespread as it was if it wasn't involving the human race in some way. So that's what we need to remember, is there's an evolution that happens physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, when we do move through these processes of healing. And that is the life purpose of a virus, you know. And when we can get to that place of peace, sometimes, like you were saying, when we can get to a place of peace and leave the fear behind, when, you know, whatever it is, whether it is strep throat or it is bronchitis or it's something else, that's really important to our healing process, because we can only truly heal when we're fully relaxed and when we're fully in our bodies, embodied, and allowing the healing to happen.
And, you know, another point I just quickly want to make is that I didn't go into judgment or doubt or like feeling bad in any way about going to Paris or about anything. I just kept reminding myself what a wonderful experience it was, how grateful I was that I was able to be there. And my son was there, my ex-husband was there. We all had a wonderful time. It was a great experience, you know. So I'm not equating the COVID virus to that event. I refuse to, because they're two different things. And I don't want to take away from the wonderful experience by this experience, right? So this was, for me, they're two separate things. And it's like, all right, cool. Now, I mean, I was sick. I wasn't feeling well. My body needed to take a break. Okay, no worries. And off we go. And a lot of times, you know, sometimes I remember in the past, people used to say, like in the past 3 years, people used to say, well, you get COVID because you have a low vibration. I was like, I don't think that's true. Yeah, I don't think that's true.
That's just, that was spiritual bypassing in order to avoid what was actually going on in the world.
Yeah. So so it's like, no, you know, it's like, I think my vibration was still high even when I was sick, but I was just allowing my body the time it needed and the space it needed to just be and to work through the illness or the virus, whatever, you know. It's just giving it the time and space it needed. And maybe I needed a break. I mean, you know, for the past, you know, year and a half, as everybody knows, it's been a difficult time. So maybe I physically needed a break. You know, I was like under stress for so long, right? So that's fine. You know, my body said, enough, let's take a break. It's like, okay.
I legit know somebody who has been saying for a long time, like, I need a break. I just need a break. I just need a break. Right. But forgetting how powerful she is, like we all are, and being non-specific with universe, and she ended up breaking a hip. So now she got her break, literally, and she got a break, you know, mentally and physically. But, you know, she's been working through it and whatever, but and she's like, oh yeah, right. I was non-specific and I didn't listen. You know, when I kept saying I needed a break, I could have just taken one, but I didn't. So exactly. Yeah, I totally get that. But I've not talked about this, you know, in terms of my experience. It was not at all what I expected, because I really didn't have any expectations of getting sick with this virus. I had, you know, I did all the things that we were supposed to do, and I ended up getting it on a day where I had to take 2 oral exams, and I had 102-degree fever, and I took 2 oral exams, you know, virtually with, you know, and it was, I tried to reschedule, and then they were like, let's just see if you pass, and, you know, let's just do it. So we did it. But what I didn't expect was so interesting, because there's been so much resistance. There's been so much fight in the spiritual community, especially. I was immersed immediately as soon as I realized, I was immersed in this vibration of unconditional love. Every cell in my body moved into unconditional love, and I felt the love pouring from the universe to me and through me. And I was like, whoa, right? And then I did some meditation, and I realized, and this is going to sound insane, but this is absolute truth based on what I've experienced. I realized that this is a doorway into the new paradigm. Like, moving through this experience is some sort of evolution for us to move into the new paradigm. And that doesn't, there's no judgment on anybody and how they experience it, or if you experience it. But I didn't realize that. And I never would have thought that had I not felt what I felt. And it brings up everything in our system that needs looking at, everything that's a little bit wonky that we need to kind of adjust before we can move forward, as we've done with our spiritual work for so long, right? You move into this thing and then this other thing comes up and it's like, oh, I thought I had healed that. Let's move into that in a deeper way. And so that was just such a unique experience. And that's not what I've been hearing from many people. And I just had this awesome experience, and just so you know, you were complaining about that for me lasted, it was like a little weird tickle that just, just make you cough. It was about 3 weeks after, and then it just went away. But I was very lucky. I was sick for 24 hours, if that, maybe 12. And I just knew what it was, because I felt the exact same way I did when I got the vaccine. So it was, it was just that. But everyone goes through their healing process their own way. Everybody experiences their illness their own way, and it could be the same illness experienced totally differently by everyone, and the healing path could be different for everyone. And that's why it's so important that we honor ourselves as individuals, but also honor ourselves as whole beings, right? As each of ourselves communicating, honoring ourselves as, this is what my body is asking for, and I'm going to honor it, and I'm not going to let my mind move me in another direction. And it's just super interesting. Vibrationally, like where we are. And I've just been, we're talking about like, oh, low vibration, whatever. Just the spiritual community has helped to perpetuate so much misinformation in the last 3 years. And I'm just like, oh my God. But
yeah, and that's the thing. I know that during that whole time, I didn't lower my vibration. My vibration was not lowered. I didn't go into judgment. I didn't go into doubt. I didn't go into fear. It was none of that at all. And it was more acceptance. It's like, all right, let's just work through this. And I was more, I guess, concerned about Robert, so
absolutely,
that was my focus. not me. It was him. It's like, I'm fine. Let's just deal with him.
And everyone's path to healing is totally unique. Like we said, it's for some people, it's green drinks and, Western medicine. And for other people, it's natural medicine and Western medicine and Ayurvedic medicine, and so there's so many different ways, beautiful ways that we can combine things to heal right now, and, the one thing that I'm finding really important, the one thing the angels have been talking about over and over again in terms of our healing and our next steps in this new paradigm, is to reclaim ourselves as whole beings. We've become so used to seeing ourselves as fragmented. So obviously we can see where that exists in the world, right? There's so much opposition, and you have to choose this or this. Like it's as if there are only two choices of things. Like you can either look forward or backward or right or left. Meanwhile, there's so many ways to combine things. We've forgotten that. But also the reason we're seeing so much separation is because we've started to see so much separation within ourselves. Like even in terms of medicine, we have all these wonderful specialists who are fantastic at what they do. But we have to see one person for the lung, one person for the ear, one person for the eye, one person for the hip. But none of those people are talking to each other to see why the lung, the eye, the ear, and the hip are doing what they're doing. And we've lost that connection. We start seeing ourselves in pieces, in fragments. And when we're looking in the mirror and seeing that, when we're looking at our health, at our wellness, and seeing ourselves in fragments and in pieces, then it splinters our view of the world. And that's just one example of how this is happening. We've had it always in our community as like, oh, like, I'm vegetarian, I'm pescatarian, I'm an omnivore. And it's as if you can only be one of those things, like, whereas you can eat intuitively and like listen to what your body needs and be a whole being who identifies as vegetarian, but that's not just who you are. You're also a spiritual teacher, or you're I don't know, postal worker, or whatever it is that you are as well. So it's important for us to reclaim our wholeness right now, and to understand that, that it's like our choices are our choices as individuals, and that's it. That's who we are, and there is no one or the other. There's very many shades in between, and there are very many reasons for going with some of those shades. So it's just super important. You know, in Ayurvedic medicine, we talk about there being at least 32 causes or different possible causes of dis-ease. And one of the, it's like possession, or there's environment, or there's wrong diet, or there's seasonal issues. So there's so many different things that could cause problems. And as spiritual people, we tend to, not all the time, move into self-judgment. Why was my vibration so low that I got sick? Why didn't I address this issue before? Whereas we can do the healing from the outside in, like we can be like, oh, okay, we have this emotional issue. Let's deal with it here before it comes in, or if it's already in, we can be like, okay, so now the way the healing happens, and this is something really lovely the angels showed me this morning, is the sickness is like a bud of a rose, and they chose a rose, bud of a rose. That's when we're so tight and it's everything is. But when we start to heal, that rose starts to open up. And as it starts to open up, there's like all of this beauty and this fragrance that's released. And when we look at that fragrance, like that could also be other issues we haven't thought about, so now we're healing this one physical issue because it's been so condensed, so tight, manifested, that now we're finding, oh, there's this issue, and there's this, oh, look at this coming up for healing. And that's like what's coming from the rose. But the beautiful thing is when we get to the center of that rose, that's where the gold is. That's where the jewel is. That's where we find, when we move through all of these things, that's when we find something about ourselves that was so hidden. We would have never known it was there had we not gone through this experience. And I thought that was just such a beautiful way to look at this, as opposed to what we might do to ourselves. Like, oh my gosh, I have this manifested. Like I got this cancerous tumor. Like, why? I should have addressed this before. I know better. I have all the tools. So if you start seeing it as a bud, a rose bud, then, oh, it's beautiful. Like, it's a beautiful chance to let it open up instead of moving into judgment right away and feeling shame and guilt and anger and all of the things. You're still going to move through your feelings about it. Nobody is happy that they have an experience of being sick, or, an experience they didn't necessarily plan on having. But it's just important for us to be able to shift our perspective as we move through it.
Absolutely. And that's the thing we always have to come back to, is that how is my mindset? How are my emotions during this sickness, illness, whatever is happening? Can you stay above it? Right. And a lot of times, we tend to, especially if we're talking to other people, listening to other people, and then like my mom was so concerned and calling me every day and blah, 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 right? And so then her concern, feeds me to worry and go back into the fear. And it's like, no, I'm fine, not to worry, don't worry, I'll call you in a few days, But, their reactions, they're projecting their fears on us, right? And totally normal is what parents do, is what family does. But at the same time, we have to stay in our center and say, exactly, stay in our center, right? And say, I'm fine. I'm moving through this. It's all good. I'm getting my nutrients. I'm getting lots of water. I'm getting lots of rest. It's all good. And, everybody talks about everything happens for a reason. Yeah. Like I said, the reason that, one of the reasons could be that I needed to take a rest, so I needed to rest. My body, my mind, my emotions, everything needed a rest. And so if you look at that, instead of going to judgment, like we were talking about, if you look at, okay, not why is this happening? It's like, all right, what can I do with this now? Well, I'm just going to allow, I'm just going to be with it. I'm just going to let it go through me. This is just about the COVID, but even other experience, like what is this experience showing me? What do I need to look at about myself that I haven't looked at before? Right. And I know for myself, it's like, I push myself a lot, I push, and I don't stop. I don't take those needed breaks, that would be nice, that my body needs, my mind needs, my emotions need. Right. So part of that is like recognizing that, okay, I've been pushing, I have not been resting, I haven't taken a vacation, I haven't, done any of that kind of stuff. And, I need to find balance in my life. right? So I think for a lot of people, that's what it comes down to. It's like, what have you been missing? What do you need holistically as a whole person, right? And so for me, it's about the balance.
Yeah. It's about what do you need to bring yourself back to wholeness too. Like there's that, that triangle we all know, body, mind, spirit, right?
Mhm.
Body, mind, spirit. And when a lot of times we move through the spirit first, and then we like pull the mind along, and then we drag the body with us.
Mhm.
So sometimes the body has to lead, and then we follow that way too. Another thing that's really hard for a lot of people who are sensitive and spiritually led, and probably in communities like this, like us, is to accept help,
Mhm.
and one of the beautiful things that can come out of, having a health situation is to actually see how many people there are that are willing to help, or that are willing to be concerned, that are just concerned about how you're doing. And that's amazing, just to see who offers to bring
Mhm.
you food, or who offers to go grocery shopping, or who asks you if you need anything. It's just a wonderful time to practice and to work those muscles of saying yes, and letting yourself be vulnerable and letting yourself be assisted. And when we can do that in the smaller ways, we can do it in the bigger ways. So if we practice that now, we don't have to wait for a crisis to have it happen. That energy will show up more freely, and we'll be able to take advantage of it in a good way, like really be able to invite it in.
Absolutely. I totally agree. The receiving, the asking for support, that's huge. All right. So do you want to take some questions?
Yeah, we can definitely take questions. Definitely take questions. The one thing I just want to say really quickly before we do that is, when we are in need of healing in any way, our body can only really heal if we're in it. And a lot of us, we
Mhm.
tend to go out of body as soon as we get uncomfortable, especially emotionally, but it can be physically. We tend to go out of body. And
Yeah.
so when we want to heal in any way, bringing ourselves into our body is one of the first steps, so that we can truly heal. And also bringing ourselves into our body before we need healing, asking the body, what do you need today? What's right for you? I've made decisions in my life that I would never have thought I would make, because my body asked me to. My body told me this is what I need. And then I chose, okay, I'm listening to my body, because over my lifetime, it has shown me it knows what it's doing. It knows what it needs. My mind has nothing to do with this decision. This is my body 100% asking me for this. So, it's super interesting to see when that happens. But yes, so let's take questions. I just wanted to make sure we got that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Totally. Sherry, you want to unmute yourself?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, Sherry.
Go ahead.
Hi. This is awesome. Thank you. And I'm glad you're feeling better, Alara. And
Thank you.
Theresa, I laughed when you said about the triangle and dragging the body, because yeah, I've been doing that, and I'm very aware that I have been doing that. So I've had lots of inflammation, and I'm just wondering if you could look into that and see what my body needs that maybe I am not seeing.
Yeah. So I feel really called, first and foremost, in terms of looking at your body, extending you the invitation to start talking to your body, and to start having a different conversation. So one of the beautiful things, like Alara was saying before, our body truly knows what it needs, right? Our body knows
Yeah.
how to do what it needs to do. And so when I wake up in the morning, my body knows how to breathe on its own all day. My heart knows how to beat on its own all day. If I eat something, my body knows how to digest that. I don't have to sit here and go, okay, lungs expand, lungs contract, because my body knows how to do that. If at some point during the day, we just take a moment, because each one of our cells has consciousness, and each one of our cells connects to all the other cells in our body.
Mhm.
And we just say, thank you so much to all my cells, to all cells composing this beautiful body, for all of the work that you did today, without me even having to pay attention or ask you to, right? just that moment of gratitude, that moment of appreciation, and that moment of love starts to change our relationship to our body. And it feels right now like a lot of your system is in overdrive. Like it's almost like your body is trying to impress you. It's like, I want you to love me so much. So if you just take the moment to acknowledge how much your body is showing you that it loves you, then it feels like your body can relax and it can start to more clearly speak to you, and you can start to hear more of what it's asking for. Is this making sense to you, Sherry?
Totally. Thank you. It actually brought tears to my eyes that yes, it does. Thank you.
The other thing that I feel two things for you. I feel in your field, I'm feeling like turmeric would be a potential thing for you to bring into your diet or in like pill form, but make sure it's really good quality. And the second thing I'm feeling is pomegranates. So if you do like pomegranates, that would be a good thing, it feels like, for your body to start ingesting a little bit more of.
Okay, I will do that. Thank you. My body thanks you, and I'm very grateful for both of you. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Sherry.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. We and just, this might be just a little silly thing, but I did not know until recently that with the pomegranate, you eat the seed. Yeah, because I was like, how are you supposed to eat this? So it's like, you're supposed to eat the seed. That's the whole thing. It's like, okay. Once I found that out, I was like, oh, all right, cool.
I love eating pomegranates. First of all, I just love them. But second of all, they look like jewels. So I just feel like I'm eating jewels.
Isn't that funny that I always I didn't know. I always try to suck all the juice out of the seed part, and
oh my God, that's a lot of work, Alara.
Exactly. That's what I thought. It's like, oh, this is too much work. She's like, forget it, But my daughter told me, no, Mom, you can eat the seeds. That's how you're supposed to eat it. It's like, okay. Then it's like, oh, I love pomegranate. It's a silly thing. All right, Phyllis, you want to unmute yourself?
Hi, ladies. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Thanks. Today's my birthday, and for the last year, I've been working for years and years on some stuff that reactions I've had from childhood. My dad's very mercurial, and so I've been working on that because I inherited it, or it happened. So the last year has been significantly wonderful in making progress forward, but every once in a while I go backward, and what I'm trying to do now is stop and see, okay, there's more lesson that you need to learn for this. So this is more of an emotional thing for me because I go into self-talk. So I was looking at what you wrote on the email, and it was this, where is my place of resistance so I can help heal this emotional trigger that I'm feeling.
What a beautiful question. And there's a couple of things that are coming through. Just feeling it. First of all, your angels want to acknowledge how much work that you've done on this and how much success you've had. And that to kind of ease up on yourself when you feel like you're kind of moving backward, because you're not. You may be experiencing a similar pattern of behavior, but you're never in the same place that you used to be. So they want you to realize, even though you feel like maybe you're backsliding, you're really only going to here, or you're going to here, or at least so just to know that these are patterns that have been in the DNA for so many generations that it just feels like really deep. So you've done a lot of the work. I feel Archangel Gabriel with you and Archangel Ariel, and they're offering some DNA work. But first, there's also a piece that I want you to hold with you, because Mercury, the energy of Mercury, it's not only negative. There are positive aspects as well. There are necessary aspects. And it feels like this is part of why this process is now a little wonky for you. It just feels like you haven't acknowledged how this energy can be beneficial to you and how it can be put to good use in your life. So it's almost like trying to eliminate something completely that actually is there to serve you. So it feels like that's the first piece of this. And then with the angels, like when you explore that and when you breathe into it and when that resonates in you in some way, I feel Archangel Gabriel, he's literally standing there like this behind you with a strand of DNA in his hands, like a piece of hair. And as soon as you're ready and as soon as you bring in, yeah, these are the positive qualities, this is how I can use it, he goes, bink, and it's done. And then Archangel Ariel comes in with the new, it's a new platinum light energy to replace that strand and that old patterning. Is this making sense to you?
Yeah, it does. That's great. Any idea? Is it just through meditation that I asked this question? I didn't think of that about Mercury, and that's amazing. I'm getting very excited. So, is it through meditation? I just ask for it, and it's going to be revealed, or
You can just even think about it. Just, it can just be you make a list or you can meditate, like however it feels right. You could create an art piece, whatever feels right to you. Your process is your process, but it feels also like as you move through this process and acknowledge the ways that this can be beneficial to you and to the world, then you also come to a new, I'm getting so many chills. You come to a new level of healing with your dad and with his energy and the way it sits in your system. Does that make sense?
awesome. Yes.
What a great birthday gift to give yourself.
I know. That's what I'm thinking too.
And you're in the new moon. So this is like still a new moon energy. This is a perfect time to do this.
Oh, great. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. This is big work. And as you do this work, you're doing it for all of us. So, really accepting who we are is key to us moving forward. And this is a part of you. So why not utilize it to its strengths?
Yeah, wonderful. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Happy birthday, Phyllis. Enjoy
Thank
your
you.
day. Awesome. Good. So Pat, you want to unmute yourself?
Okay. Hi, Theresa.
Hi, Pat.
I just wondered, I'm asking you what you think my body wants me to hear or wants me to deal with. Is there a message from my body for me?
Oh, your body has so much joy in it.
Oh, good,
Like,
good.
You just like,
And
and your
vibrating
body,
as you're speaking.
yeah, like your body is just, your body elemental is so happy. And just, the invitation feels like your body elemental would like to work with you even more closely. It feels like you've been doing so much work that you're now able to communicate with much more ease with your body. But I also feel, your body would like to do some dancing. Have you been dancing?
Oh, good. Yes, yes. That's the messages I'm getting too, to dance more.
Good. And I particularly feel, I'm just kind of feeling, it feels like the left shoulder. Do you have any like left shoulder stuff?
No pain or anything.
That's good. No, it doesn't have to be pain, but I just keep seeing you do this. So it's like in your dance, you're moving your arm and I don't know if there's like, there could be emotional stuff in here that you've just hid in your shoulder or something, but it just feels like it can be released through beauty. It can be released through joy and fun. So I just keep doing that for you.
Thank you so much, Judith. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you, Pat.
Yeah, I need to dance more.
I think we all
body.
do. We should have
I
a
loved
dance
dancing when I was
session.
younger, but I'm 78, so. But I'm still
So
moving around, it'll probably help me with my balance issues, my lightheadedness too.
Yeah, flexibility too.
One of my clients and students just was sharing, she just became, she's teaching in 2 yoga studios. She just became a yoga teacher and she's 74. So you're still young.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
Thank you so much, Theresa. I'm so grateful. Thank you.
Thank you, Pat. All right, so Angela has a question in the chat. Is there a message regarding my finances?
Oh, interesting. So it's so interesting, Angela, because I'm just going to give you the visual that I'm seeing and that your angels are giving me. Like I see you sitting at a table and all of your finances are sort of organized on the table. Like you know what's going on. I see under the table, there's all of this like knotted energy from the genetic line about lack and limitation, about how money can and should flow in, about how hard you have to work for money to flow. So it feels like there's a lot of untapped generational energy around this. And I know you've done generational healing and DNA healing about a lot of different things. They're showing me that, but it feels like for some reason, as light workers, we always separate money from everything else. And they really want you to start seeing that financial flow is truly an extension of all other energy. And so the invitation here is to, and this is where a lot of resistance to healing hides, right? Because you've done so much work around this. It hides in the DNA. It hides in our lineage. It hides in the programming that we inherited. And so it's now about you. You can even just picture yourself like going under the table and taking that energy and putting it in the garbage, or unknotting it, or however that feels true to you, because it feels like you've brought in all the energy that's different that you want to fill that space. And it's just a matter now of saying, nope, you don't live here anymore, and getting rid of it. So I hope that makes sense. Let us know if it does.
Yeah, let me know, Angela, and let us know how that resonates with you, okay? Kathy, you want to unmute yourself?
Hi, Theresa.
Hi, Kathy. How are you?
I'm good. How about you?
Good, good.
Good. I have a question regarding my right hand. It's tingly and it goes numb, and it happens when I sleep. And I have been doing body talk, and I've also been asking my angels to heal it before I go to bed and while I sleep. And I have been to the doctor, and I haven't had any results or anything revealed through that way. So I'm just wondering what you pick up about that.
Have you been checked for carpal tunnel?
No.
Yeah, that feels like it would be, as soon as you said my right hand, I just saw like carpal tunnel in front of me. So even if they check for that, it feels like there could be some nerve compression somewhere. Sometimes carpal tunnel can start here. Sometimes so just have that checked. I see your angels. Like I literally, this is so beautiful. I see you going to sleep, and I see your angels holding your arm. So it's almost like you're doing all the things that you can do to navigate through this. And it just feels like it might be time to do some more on the physical side of things. If you need to be led to the proper place, then it feels like, ask Archangel Michael, and he can help lead you to the right practitioner. But for you, it also feels like a combination of things always works well. So maybe it's a little bit of Western medicine mixed with some natural medicine, or like whatever, acupuncture, like whatever works for you. Let your process unfold and be the right process for you. But I would start the process only because they're showing me it's getting checked for carpal tunnel.
I will do that. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Oh, you're so gorgeous. You have so much beautiful light. So, and I just love that you just allow the angels to hold you all through your sleep. That's so beautiful.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Kathy.
Thank
and
you.
let us know what the doctor said about the carpal tunnel.
I will. Thank you.
Good. So Angela wrote back in the chat, and she said, it does resonate. It resonates. I will try out the energy dump. I need to clear out repeating cycles, great highs, then it cycles back. I am getting rid of this.
Yes. And what I want to say is part of why things cycle back for us is because we are so sensitive. So when you dump it knowing this energy is being dumped, but also know that the reason it existed in the first place was because somebody was trying to protect you. Somebody was trying to make sure that you got here. This energy served at some point. So when you dump it, you can thank those who brought it in, and you can offer this new energy in the world as it is now, all the way back through your genetic line. And you can offer it all the way forward in your genetic line and offer something different. So it doesn't feel like you're erasing people or what they stood for. It actually feels like you are getting rid of what didn't serve them either, but was necessary at the time.
Awesome. I love that. Great. Thank you. And Liga says, what is my body asking me? I don't seem to hear it.
Your question is not funny. I'm laughing because your body's like, I just want her to listen to me. So for this takes practice. Okay. So I don't want you to think you're the only one. It's like, I've already said to a room full of people, well, just listen to your body. And everybody looks at me like, what? Because it takes practice. This is something that I came to in my own life because my body was breaking down, right? So we come to these things through necessity sometimes. So what feels important is just to like take those moments to check in, and you can ask your body, what is it that you want to eat today? Right. And that may be a good way to start. And then if you're a visual person, visualize a table in front of you and close your eyes and let your body show you what's on the table. Or, if you're somebody who likes to write, then just listen and see if things come and write them down. And you might be surprised. Your body might be like, you need 10 apples. And you're like, what? But the only time I would eat 10 apples in a day is if my body asked me to, and I would listen because I know that my body doesn't ask me for anything it doesn't need. So it just feels like becoming willing to ask the question and then pause for the answer. Also, when we are not in the present moment, we can't get our messages, whether they be from our body, from our higher self, from our angels, our guides. So the invitation is to get really present first. So whatever that is for you, whether it be meditation, going for a walk, playing with a puppy or a kitten, whatever brings you into this moment, do that first and then ask the questions. And then over time, you'll start to hear from your body. So a quick example is I will go into the supermarket and I will literally start salivating when I look at a vegetable that my body wants to eat. And I'm like, okay, let's take it, or I'll go to the farm stand and it's like, my breath gets taken away because the asparagus looks so gorgeous, it's like, all right, you're coming with me. So it can be that simple, right? It can just be that resonance, that knowing of what it needs. And then it'll open as you start to trust those messages and trust that it will open from there. So I hope that makes sense. Let us know if any of that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the thing. Start asking the question, and then whatever sensation you get, follow it. And, then your body will know that, okay, she's listening to me. Okay, I can start giving her even more messages now because she's actually listening to me. She's communicating with me and she's hearing me. I'm just like sensing, perceiving the answer. So awesome. So then it'll continue.
Yeah.
Kathy says, Theresa, you're so encouraging. Your beautiful energy is so infectious. Good. Awesome. Yes, absolutely. Renee had a question.
I just love that we're taking back the word infectious and making it a good thing.
It is a good thing.
Absolutely.
Renee says, I have been feeling procrastination a lot the past few months. What maybe is my body telling me?
Okay, so this is specific for Renee, but a lot of us can probably relate to this. So I do know Renee outside of here, and Renee is an amazing glass artist. She's amazing. And I saw Renee when she started. I saw where she is now. Renee saw me when I started. She sees where I am now. And it's just beautiful. What I'm feeling for you, Renee, is you need a break. Like, number one, like we were talking about before, you just need a break. You've been going and going and going. The other thing I feel is that there's either a new way of being creative, a new technique, some new work that's bigger than you, meaning like, the energy gets channeled through you to create the work. There's something you're being prepared for. There's something that it's almost like you're gestating, right? You're preparing to birth this thing. And before birth, you need rest. You need to take care of yourself before that whole birth process. And it feels like intuitively, that, but physically and in this world, you kind of want to just move forward. And so it does feel like, take this rest time, listen to your body, listen to the fact that, you're not yet ready to take that step forward because it will happen when it happens. And you'll be so glad that you listen, because it'll be such a smoother process, and what comes through will be amazing. So, I would just say that, and just know that everything has to do with creativity, everything. So just know that your creativity is getting kicked up a notch, and you're just being prepared. So that triad, body, mind, spirit, right? When we move forward, if spirit's the only thing moving forward, then we can't fully move forward. Body and mind need to catch up. Or if body's ready to move forward, spirit and mind need to catch up. So just know that when they're all in alignment and the energy is right and the world can hold what it is that you're about to bring through, then you'll move forward.
Awesome. Thank you. Lika says, thank you so much. You make it so clear and simple. I have to practice, practice, practice. Yeah, and it's not about having to practice, but it's about you get to practice with your body. That communication is going to open up so many more doors for you than just about the body. So just be aware of that as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's about playing with these things. When, when I remember we first learned to use the pendulum like years ago, I would have a friend who would like take the pendulum. This was her first foray into like, what does my body want? And she would take the pendulum into the grocery store and run it over everything. And then it would be like, she'd be going over her 20th apple. And I would be like, just pick an apple, you need an apple, but it can be fun. You can play into it. You can make this spirituality, and getting in touch with ourselves needs to be fun. It needs to be full of joy, or we're just not going to do it, or it's not going to stick. So you get to do this. You get to communicate with yourself in a whole new way and play with how that works for you. And we're here for you. If you want to share what's working, what's not, bounce things off of people, you have this whole community. So definitely let us play into it with you.
Awesome. Thank you. I love that. All right. So we still have a lot of stuff that we want to talk about. So we're going to talk about that in a second, but I wanted to share the special offer that you have for us, Theresa. And so that is available at alara.at/ don't know what I'm doing. 1 second. Laura.at/show/Theresa7. I'm gonna share my screen in a second. 1 second, so we can talk about it and share it. Yes, can you see that? Am I like not muted? I mean, what's going on here? No, it should be fine, right?
All I see is Alara Canfield has started screen sharing. I don't see anything on the screen.
Oh, okay, so that did not work. 1 second. Oops, I don't even know what I'm doing. 1 second. I still don't know what I'm doing. Oh, goodness gracious. I can't even get out of the screen share. Oh gosh.
I'm just looking at what Sherry was saying, good, wholesome fun. And it's so nice to have places like this where we can come with all of who we are, with every decision we've made, with every one of our reasons, and just be like loved and accepted for who we are, and not judged, and not, no fingers pointed. And it's just like such a beautiful gift. So I'm just so grateful you're back, Alara.
What are you seeing now? Just
Same
me?
thing. Same. No, it says Alara Canfield has started screen sharing.
But nothing's happening, and I can't get out of this.
It's just a black screen with white type.
Oh gosh, and I can't even get back. Oh my god, what happened? What did I do? What did I do? 1 second.
Go to the top of your screen. You'll say stop sharing.
I did. There's nothing there.
Oh.
It's really. I've never seen this before. It's like I don't even know. I can't. Hold on. Okay, 1 second. Let's see. I'm not even getting the stuff for. Oh gosh. I'm not even getting the.
Okay, take a breath.
This has never happened before. Okay, 1 second. I don't even know. Can't even get out of here. Okay, I'm gonna have to come back because I have no idea. So hopefully you all will still be here when I come back, because it's never been like this before. I've never done this.
You know what? Maybe, are you still here?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe can you make me the host before you leave, just in case the meeting shuts down when you're gone?
I can't do anything.
Yeah, you can't do anything?
No. Nothing. This is weird. What did I, oops. I don't know what I did wrong. Oh, I see you kind of now. But no, I can't do anything. All I can do is stop my video and start again. See if that changes anything. No. Okay. I have no idea. I've never experienced this. I'm so sorry, guys. I don't even know how to get out. Actually, I can't even leave.
Can you hit the share screen button again and say stop sharing?
It's not here. I can't even see it.
It's gone.
Yeah, it's gone. There's no share screen button, nothing. 1 second. Give me 1 second. View, show chat. Oh my God. Oh, stop share. Hold on. Stop share. Okay. That was
Voila.
weird. I don't know what happened. I've never had that happen. Okay, take two. Get this.
Brave
Share
woman.
screen.
Again.
Why? Can you see it now? Anything? No, again, same thing. But with the... Okay, 1 second. Oh, goodness. What am I doing wrong? Oh, but 1 sec. I'm gonna make you the co-host. Okay, there you go. So just in case, and I'm gonna try and do this what I did last time. I don't even know. Okay, Zoom. So okay, so we're not going to do screen sharing because it's not working. So because I've tried 2 times now and it's just
Good
not
plan.
working. It's not working. Okay, no worries. We can still talk about it.
We're all about the flow here.
Yeah, we'll just talk about it, Kathy. Exactly. All right, Theresa. Let's talk about the special offer.
Okay. Do you want me to just walk through it?
Yeah. So it's the
Okay.
Healing in the New You package.
So it's Healing into the New You package. And it's basically everyone here has been doing healing work for quite some time. So it's about really being ready to heal through so much of what's left, what's been holding you back, what's prevented you from moving forward. So that's why this package was put together. And it's always put together exactly perfectly for the group that's gathered. And I always trust that because universe tells me, angels tell me what is needed. So, you know, our goal here is to anchor a higher vibration and to be able to spread it to really feel more alive and more in joy in your life. And that's the goal of this package. And so the first piece is the Prepare the Way and Anchor Change meditation package. And it's a package of 3 different meditations. They're all somewhere between the 20 and 30-minute mark. So they're simple to use because the angels like to give you tools that you were actually going to use. One is Deep Cellular Healing with Archangel Ariel. The second is Embodying the Power of Love. And the third is the Empty Bowl Meditation, which is an ancient technique, and it's so powerful. The second piece is the Healing into the New You 3-part series, which will be a 3-part series of calls where we will get together, and they're all in August coming up, and they'll help you to step into the newest version of yourself while you navigate your own energies. You'll figure out what's going out of balance in your body and how to right it much more quickly than before. So each of these sessions is an energy, well, first it's an education and then an energy session. So we'll start off with the education piece where we'll be talking about the things that we need to talk about, and then we'll move into the energy healing aspect of the sessions. So session 1 will focus on relieving stress and anxiety. Session 2, relieving and healing anger and judgment. And session 3 is alleviating sadness and depression. And remember, as you do this for yourself, you do this for the world. And these sessions were designed specifically for what we need at this time. Each session will last about an hour, and you'll experience deep and irreversible healing. I've seen so many miracles come out of work that combines all of the factors we'll be using here. And it's really I'm just so excited. It's really amazing. And then the third piece is perfect for the new moon. It's visioning your year anytime. It's a vision board workshop course. It's pre-recorded, and it's really about helping you to figure out what your big vision is, what the pieces are, and how to be flexible within that, but stand in the energy of what you want to create and co-create. Learning to start your day over at any time, and like really releasing the blockages around finance, abundance, manifestation, creating and co-creating the world that you truly want to see for yourself and for others. You'll tap into your creativity, tap into your joy, plus you'll create a beautiful work of art that you can see every single day, and it will remind you of your deepest desires. So those are the 3 parts of this package. And Alara, I think we priced it at $97, but the value of the package is like $997. So I'm super excited to be able to offer that here.
And so, of course, it is $97, but there are 2 and 3 part payment plans available. And don't forget to use the 24-hour special gift code TACS10 as well when you purchase. Yes, absolutely. It's a great package. The calls start next week, I think, August 2nd, right? So it's every week. I think it turned out to be every week, August 2nd, 9th, and 16th.
Yeah, it's weekly.
It's weekly at 1 p.m. Eastern. So that's part of the live part of it. The other parts are the meditations and the vision board workshop. So those you can.
Healing into the new year calls are also recorded. So, even if for whatever reason one day you can't make it, you'll receive the recording and you'll still receive the energy aspect of it as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So yes, great package. Take advantage of it. It's always a good time to create your vision, right? And we are midway through the year, so there's still a lot of this year left. So it's a lot of people focus on vision boards in January, right? Or end of December, January. But really, anytime is a great time to start creating your vision or fine-tuning your vision, tweaking your vision, upgrading your vision, right? And
we've all lived like 700 lifetimes already this year. So why would we be using the same vision board as we did in January? It's like we're totally different people.
And like you said, we're in the new moon energies right now, and we're also getting into the Lionsgate portal coming up. So all of these energies are going to help you to really move into the best version of yourself and what you would like to create, and how you would like your life to be and what it looks like. So the healing, the vision board workshop, the live calls, the meditations, they can all support you in creating your best life at this time.
Totally.
So again, that is available at alara.at/show/Theresa7. Of course, I will be putting the links in the email when the recording goes out as well. So not to worry. Sorry you couldn't see it today, but it is what it is, right? We just go with the flow.
Well, you can see it if you tap the link. If you really want to see it, you can do it that way.
Exactly. I was able to put the link in the chat, so that was good. So Theresa, I want to just quickly talk about a few more little things. We were talking about, we are sensitives, we are superpowers, but I also want to talk about that magical place that we can go to increase our ability to heal.
So we've sort of alluded to it already. What the big thing is that we need to be in this now moment. We need to be in this present moment. This is the magical place where we have access to infinite potentials. And it sounds so simple, right? Spirituality sounds so simple, but then try to get yourself into the present moment. So, I always look at it as if you're chopping a carrot, all you're doing is chopping a carrot. All of your focus, all of your attention is on chopping the carrot. If you're changing a diaper, that's what you're doing. All of your senses are invested in that one thing that you're doing. And when you can do that, you're in this present moment where you have access to all of the potentials, where you can hear your body talking to you, where you can hear your guidance, where you can feel things going on in your body you might not have felt otherwise because you were disconnected. That's the magical place. And then if from that present moment you can go internal, you'll get even more. But when we're fully in the present moment, we are also internal. We're equally internal and external. We're riding that perfect balance of where we can not only access everything, we can be everything that we are here to be. And it's an amazing thing. And we take it for granted and we avoid it. And it's just unbelievably powerful.
Absolutely. I love that. And we've always talked about being present in the moment, but how many of us are truly present in the moment when we're functioning, being, doing whatever? How many of us automatically start thinking about so much other stuff that we don't really need to in the moment, right? So it's always about coming back to the present moment, being physically present in your body, because that is where the healing takes place, is in the physical body. Even if you're doing energy healing, you're bringing that energy healing into your physical body, right? So
I mean,
go ahead.
Laura, how many times, for those of us who drive, do you get in the car and then you end up where you're going, but have no idea of what happened in between, right? Because we're not there. We're not in the moment. We're somewhere else. We know the start, we know the finish, but nothing in between. And when we can be present in the car, for me, that's my barometer. If I can remember how I got there, then I know I was present.
Yeah, absolutely. And so how can we best set ourselves up for success on our healing journey?
It's like the willingness to be willing, right? So every day, if we can check in with ourselves and ask, make that time, make that space to ask what our body needs, to ask what we need physically, mentally, and emotionally. Also, to remember that we are whole beings, start to really see ourselves as whole beings again. So, like our friend Kathy lovingly shared with us, is she's having pain in her right hand, but it's not just about the right hand. Like, it's also about, the right is the right is the giving side of our body. The right is where the energy comes out of our body. And it's also connected to the shoulder and so we have to remember that we are whole beings. We need to take those moments to ask what is needed. And we also need to listen. And then from there, we need to take the action, right? If your body says something, then listen. And it's not just about, if my body says you need to eat 6 bags of potato chips, that's not my body. That's not my body talking. You can be rest assured that that's something else. Like, that's your emotions, that's your mind. But really you'll feel it in your body when you know what it is that you need. So that space really sets us up for success, that openness and that willingness to be present and listen. And then also give gratitude back to the body every day. Even if you're not feeling well one day and your body didn't do exactly what you wanted it to do, give gratitude for the ways in which it's trying to right that process as well.
Absolutely. I love that. And giving gratitude to the body for all it does. It's amazing. If you start to think about all the ways your body functions, all the stuff that's happening behind the scenes, it's like, oh my God, it's like the most amazing thing. It's mind blowing to think about what is happening all the time in your body in every single moment. And it's like keeping me going, keeping me healthy, keeping me, moving forward, keeping me sane sometimes. It's like there's so much happening. And, when it needs that break and that rest, honor your body and say, all right, body, you got it. I'm going to take a break. I'm going to take some rest time. I'm going to give you some you time. What do you need? Right. And I know for myself, a lot of times my body needs to go outside. My body needs that fresh air. My body needs that sunlight. Right. And also the cool air. My body needs that, and it needs to be in nature. That's something that my body needs, and my body needs water. But I'll be honest, when I was sick, it's like, oh my God, I'm so sick of this water. I was like, I can't drink any more water. I want something else now. Right. But the body, that's how it flushes your system, cleans out your system. You need that, you need that water and whatever else your body is asking for. So continue to ask. Yeah, you can't go anywhere without your body. You can't function in this reality without your body, right? All right. Anything else we want to talk about or share? Is there any wonderful process that the angels have for us today?
Just feeling in. It's so interesting because they're showing me how, though we're each going through similar things, how each of us is completely unique. The one thing that feels really important right now is our connection to Archangel Gabriel is stepping forward. So it's our connection to our voice, our connection to our communication, our connection with our expression, and also no longer feeling like we need to swallow our voice. Like, it's not right to express it because of whatever reason, because we're female, because we're children, because we're whatever, too spiritual to speak about these things. So Archangel Gabriel wants to lovingly invite us to reconnect with our voice, to really embrace the part of us that knows and wants to share from, I was going to say from a place of love, but it's really not always from a place of love. Sometimes it's from a place of anger. But that anger is because of love for other people, right? We see something that's not right. It makes us angry because we love so deeply, and we love truth, and we love honesty. And so to realize that even your anger is coming back to love. And even if you're communicating through anger, to know why you're doing so. So, and that will tap you into the love. So Archangel Gabriel is just inviting us now to sit up really straight if it feels accessible to you today. If not, that's fine. And we're just going to stretch our chin up to the ceiling and then bring it down to the chest gently. If this bothers your neck, you can just imagine yourself doing so. We're going to do this 3 times. And Archangel Gabriel is saying this is going to break up so much of the energy that's been held in our throat chakra. And we're not only doing this for ourselves, he's showing us that we're doing this for our ancestors. We're doing this for those who have come before us, who did not feel that they had the right or the position to speak when they saw something they would like to have shared. And then just bring the head back to a still point when you're finished. He's showing us also that through this process, we are reclaiming our creativity. We're reclaiming all of who we are so that we can function as whole beings, but also we're doing it for those who have come before us, who were not able to do so, who were not able to express fully who they were, and those who come after us so that they may be more fearless about expressing completely who they are. Now just bring the breath, he's showing me, bring the breath down into your solar plexus, just right at the base of your rib cage, into your stomach. And he places his hands, if it's okay with you, if you would like Archangel Gabriel's help, just say yes, gently. Places his hands front and back in front of your solar plexus. And as you breathe, he's just allowing any energy that's ready to release to just rise up his arm, and he's pulling it from you. And then his other hand is allowing new energy, new programming about being in harmony with your power to come into that same area. Releasing and integrating. And Archangel Ariel now shines a beam of light down through the highest heavens, down through the crown of your head, through the third eye, through the throat, through the heart, the solar plexus, through the sacral chakra, through the first chakra, down, down, down into the heart of Mother Earth. It's vibration of light. That now expands and fills every single one of your cells if you allow it to. This healing energy, this energy of divine perfection, this energy of divine knowledge that each of your cells knows its perfect form. And this light is bringing accessibility to each of them to move back to the blueprint of divine perfection if they have moved away from it, to move into the blueprint of divine perfection as it exists now for you in this moment, to upgrade, to heal, to release. Bringing the breath fully and completely into the solar plexus. Let the stomach expand, let the rib cage expand. And then with your exhalation, releasing anything that's ready to release through the nose, letting it go. 2 more times, inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. And Archangel Gabriel sweeps his hands down your body, down the legs, down the floor, and grounds your feet to beautiful Mother Earth. As he pulls his energy back, as Archangel Ariel pulls her energy back, and they still stand guard just outside your aura. They are here for you. They can help. They can jump in at each and every moment, at any time you invite them. And what they're saying is, for the rest of the day, be sure that you are very well hydrated. Be sure that you listen. If your body needs to rest or needs to go for a run or needs to sing or dance, just listen. And also to, what was the last thing? Hang on. To breathe, to make moments where you breathe deeply, because our best way to detox our body is through the breath, in through the nose, out through the nose. That is the most seamless way our body does detox. And we forget to breathe all the time. So they want you to just take a couple of moments throughout the day to just take a deep breath and let it go.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. That was great. And just, knowing that we have the support of Archangel Gabriel and Archangel Ariel here with us still, we can call on them to support us even more, to shore up what we need in this moment. Like for myself, a little bit more in the throat would be nice. Yeah, but thank you. That was awesome. All right. So, yeah, that was great. And just, yes, absolutely remember to breathe, remember to breathe, remember to breathe. Love the head movement. Yeah, that was great. It's funny that, we did this today on this call, but earlier in the day, I was doing a lot of exercises with my head and neck, just moving that energy, getting that energy moving. So
you can even do that with a chant. So whatever it is that you would resonate for you. So like, you could use like Hari Om, like Hari Om, or Alleluia, or I love you, or whatever it is, like up and down as you chant. It'll clear this whole area. And it's also good for thyroid. So, but the caveat is 10 to 17, no more than 17. That's it, because otherwise you're going to send your body into overdrive. But that's actually an Ayurvedic treatment for thyroid and for throat chakra.
Awesome. Thank you. Good. All right. So what a wonderful call. So much information, so much wisdom, healing, just amazing. Thank you. So I am going to recommend you all to, again, check out the package from Theresa, which is available at alara.at/show/Theresa7. The live calls begin next week, but the meditations and the workshop you'll be able to access right away and start working and start healing and start creating for yourself. So
yeah, and those things are also good in preparation for the live calls as well. So that's beautiful. So thank you. Oh, good. Kathy feels spaciousness of the throat after the exercise. Amazing. I just want to say thank you, Alara, and thank you all for just showing up and just being so unabashedly you and sharing so freely in this community. I just so appreciate you all.
Beautiful. Thank you. And thank you everybody for all your questions, for being here, for your patience with me, still going through, getting settled and getting back into the swing of things. So thank you. And thank you, Theresa. We love having you come back on the show over and over again. We just love your energy, love your integrity, love your honesty, just absolutely love you. Yes, definitely listen to the replay if you missed it. There's wonderful information, wonderful wisdom, wonderful teachings, and energies flowing throughout the call. So please do that. Okay. So thank you so much, everyone. Oh, good, Liga. I feel so much closer to my body. Oh, awesome. Good. I'm glad. So until next time, everyone, may you continue to be blessed with an abundance of joy, peace, love, happiness, prosperity, and radiant health. Sending you all much love and blessings always. Bye for now. Bye, everyone. Thank you. I don't know what's going to happen now. I'm going to press end and see what happens.